Hi guys, welcome to week 4 in BUS225 Business Communications. I got to tell you, this is a fun week, I think. We're going to continue on with how to craft a message, and we've got some fun stuff we're going to deal with. We're going to look more towards the electronic end than we had last week. I wish we could spend more time on this part. And when I say the electronic media, I mean like Facebook's, Snapchat, all the different types of electronic media, as well as email. And why is it different than print media? A little bit of fun there. But mostly we're going to take a look at crafting that message for the electronic format. Brings us to what we have to do this week. What we have in, taking care of some old business. If you haven't got your resume in yet for project 2, make sure you get that done. I'm not taking any points off for being late. I know that's not fair for all of you that really busted hard to get it done in the first week. However, I know there were some communications issues. Funny, a little ironic, I think. Some communications issues with the help getting some feedback on your resumes. I've heard several horror stories, and you're not the first class that I've heard this from. So keep that in mind, but please get that done. It's one of the rare things that you'll see in my class where you get a reprieve from late submissions. Most of the times my hands are tied with that. With a project, I have a little bit more leniency than I do with an assignment. So that being said, let's get down to it. You've got 2 chapters I want you to take on. I want you to take on completing business messages. That's chapter 5, and crafting messages for the digital channels. Chapter 6. So you have that to do as well. The assignment I want you to take on, there's some questions I want you to ask. There's also in chapters 5 and chapter 6, there's a handful of questions there I want you to take on. But there's also, I want you to write an actual message. Just read that section in there at the bottom of the assignment. You'll see the write-up and a link in there for you to go to read the message and then how to craft a message. So that, along with your discussion that you have this week, that's there it is. That's important. In the discussion, I tell you, I playing around and looking at different things, I did find this really good article online. It's George Orwell's 5 Rules for Effective Writing, and it's very appropriate no matter, even though they're fairly old, it's still appropriate no matter what media that we're writing to, what genre we're writing to. Some fantastic, simple 5 steps, actually 6 if you really look at it, but there's 5 steps on how to write effectively. Never use a metaphor, a smile, or other figure of speech which you are used to seeing in print, such as he has an axe to grind, play into the hands of, they're going to ride roughshod over them, toe the line, they need to toe the line. Those are all different examples of metaphors you need to stay away from. So you want to be careful with using that kind of fun stuff. Make sure that you just use as simple words as possible. Never use a long word when a short one will do. I'm going to post this actually in the discussion. I'll post the link to this in the discussion. It's really, it's a 1-page site to go to. It's really good one to read. And something really to take to heart, just these simple little rules to stick by. If it is possible to cut out a word, always cut it out. Never use passive when you can use the active. So never use a foreign phrase or scientific word or a jargon word. If you can think of an everyday English word, use it. So really good stuff to use. I really need to follow this more closely than what I ever have. It's really good advice. I need to follow it even closer. Anyway, so you've got the discussion. You've got your assignment due. Don't forget that. What else do we have this week? You got chapters 5 and 6, and then you have your quiz on chapters 3 and 4. That's in here as well, so let's make sure that we get those taken care of as well. All right, so don't forget the quiz. That's due by Saturday. You have your discussion. Make sure you get in there early and often. You have your assignment, you have your chapters to read. Let's make sure you do that. So, any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, an email, whatever it takes. Let me know what you need. I'm happy to work with you any way I can, guys. Most of you guys I've had in class already, so it's not a big deal. You know how to get a hold of me, and we'll do the best we can. All right, let's have a great week. Thanks a lot.